Spirit, guides, guardians, spirits from above and below, guide us on this night with messages of clarity, with our highest into with our highest goals and aspirations, soul growth in mind. Guide us on this night. Okay, thank you. Okay. I had to get clear with that question. I had to get clear with it. There's something that's asking you to get very clear, which reminds me of the previous reading. To clear your thoughts, to clear your mind, to be, again, echoing the previous reading, to be really clear about where you're coming from, where you're going, your questions, what you need insight about, okay? All right. So, the first card that came out was upright. It was in reverse. Oh, two cards. There's one right on top of another. Okay, interesting. So, these fell out like this in the reverse. Both in the reverse. Both further away from me, both up front. So this could be these are the images. We have the Four of Swords and the the Five of Swords. Let me see. I just want to make sure. Yeah, sorry. The Five of Swords. These were in the reverse. And the Five of Swords was exactly under the Four of Swords. Interesting. There was a time where you needed to stop and reflect, to really stop, to really pause. There possibly was stagnation due to some really not so desirable actions on the part of others. There's definitely some deceit here. There's definitely some kind of possible betrayal here. Not that it happened, but that the intent was there. That this was meant, this action, this deceit, this betrayal type energy, mostly with the use of words and communication, so gossip, rumors, that sort of thing, was used to really stagnate you, to get you in your head, to have you stop, because these were in the reverse. And for a time, that was the outcome. This is a lot of cards. There's 4 cards, all face down. Whew, okay. 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 Knight of Wands. I'm getting that this is you. This is the upright card. All of these were face down. Win this bunch of cards. This is your energy, because the rest is in reverse and it's of a different type of energy. You have the Five of Wands here again with this sort of conflict, this miscommunication, this conflict ahead. had you obviously in your head upset. The Tower was also in reverse along with the Devil. I'm feeling again that this was a breakup as well. This was possibly an intended breakup. Here we have the Devil. All of these were in reverse. So it didn't happen, but there was some sort of lusty type of behavior that wanted to pull you in, some lusty energy that wanted to pull you in and get you to have conflict with your relationships, possibly. Okay? This didn't take hold, and you are the Knight of Wands. You're moving forward with desire, passion for your goals and your visions. Okay? Those were all related. Okay? So those were the energies that are coming at you that did not take. The Eight of Pentacles fell in my lap. This is yours. The Eight of Pentacles. You're ready to do the work. You're ready to put in the time and the effort to get work done. Okay? There's also a lot of you're definitely doing your research. There's also too a level of really getting into what you're researching, really getting into what you're working on, really doing, like really being enthralled in your education of whatever this is. That's what I'm getting. This is yours here. There's a lot of communication here. There's a lot of like instruction that you're delving into that's really fueling you forward in your new passion, because you're no longer in this past energy. This is definitely past energy. And it had you stuck. And it had you doubting things, doubting your relationships, doubting people, and all there was this really attachment energy. It kind of reminds me of the previous reading. If you feel called to, you may want to check out the reading that I just did. I was called to do another reading. I sometimes feel called to have additional readings because of whatever reason, okay? But again, yeah, this is a lot like the energy we explored in the previous reading in some ways, in a lot of ways actually. You're ready to move forward now. You're definitely out of stagnation energy. Even though that's what some people wanted for you. They wanted to sever your relations with, not even just with significant other, but just with people in general. And causing a tower moment that really had you, that really just had you imprisoned in your own world, but in a way where you weren't moving forward. You know what I'm saying? In a very stuck way. Okay? But you're moving forward. That's old. That's not related. I mean, it's related to you, but not anymore. Okay? You're moving forward. They saw someone who was dedicated to their path, someone who could really move forward, and they wanted to bring that down. We're used to that. We are very used to that here. Wow, that sounds like a lot of readings we've had, right? So, you know, that's still happening, right? Or that has happened, but you're moving, you know, the last couple of readings, you've been moving forward. We have been moving forward. And again, they try to get their hooks in, and it doesn't work, and you just become more serious about where you're going in life. You become more serious about where your life is headed and what you want to do with your life. Okay? You become more dedicated. And that gets them all up in there. If they just took a fraction of the time that they spent trying to, like, be jerks and, like, total, like, friggin' dipshits, they would get some stuff done in their life. But for some reason, they can't seem to get their act together. And that's not on your end. You're doing the right thing. Again, there is some clouded fogginess when it comes to, you do really need to be clear, okay? So you're on the right track, but you do need to be very clear and decisive and focused. There needs to be a focus here of where you're going. So you may need to take some quiet time, this was in the other reading, to get clear about that. These two readings are related. Okay. All right. Okay. We need to see what lies beneath all of this. What lies beneath putting on a show? Someone was putting on a show. They also feel like you are show worthy. You're celebrity worthy almost. There's something magnificent about the way you come off. Could really do well with acting, singing, that sort of thing, where you actually would be putting on a show. But they put on a show too. Kick to the curb. Yeah, somebody wanted to kick you to the curb. And somebody is getting kicked to the curb for their actions. Don't want to hear it. Okay, kick to the, this came out after kick to the curb. Okay, don't want to hear it. Don't want to deal with it. There could be aspects of you not wanting to hear this. You want to move on, which is good. You should want to move on, but there's something here that needs to be resolved internally for you to move forward, okay? Anger management. I feel like they wanted to get you in a space where you were angry, and they also could be angry that you are not in the space, that you are having a life of meaning, that you're headed towards this life of meaning, and the stagnation did not take hold. There's a copycat here. Someone wants to copy your work, and so you might feel not comfortable putting yourself out there, which makes sense. Some people are very unoriginal, and they see originality, and they get angry, and then they copy and they want to destroy. These people really have no life, as we know. Trash, throwing away, getting rid of, tossing out. So we had this come out with expecting and a new beginning. So, I mean, there is a new beginning for you. You're moving forward, and you've taken out the trash. You've gotten rid of the old stuff, the things that you don't want to deal with, kicked to the curb. You've gotten rid of, like, this old stagnant way of being, this drama in the background that used to get you upset. But they're really upset with seeing you shine. God, these people are losers. I hate nothing about you. You may not hate it. You may not have feelings for these people at all. Like, you're okay with them. You don't hate them. But they have such strong feelings towards you. Already knowing the tea. Yeah, you already know all this. We already know all this. We've already been through this a million times, pretty much. We know what's going on in this arena. But the thing is, for us, is we know it's there. It may be coming up. It may be coming up in your dreams. You may be having more people be trying, like you see them trying and you ignore it, or you know they try to get you into that headspace, but you've been really good at, because you know you take that trash out. You know, you don't want it filling your head because you're expecting new beginnings. People are gonna play their little reindeer games, but you don't have to deal with that. You're on your new trajectory. Fulfilling a fantasy and setting the record straight. Okay, so maybe someone had you fulfilling their fantasy, or like they had fantasies about you, or they had a fantasy world, like where they were creating stories about you. Again, with this rumor stuff, remember I was talking about, felt very rumory, deceitful. But at any rate, you're setting the record straight. And you don't even have to set your record straight with talking or defending yourself. You don't even have to say anything. You just have to be who you are. You just have to be true to who you are. I've never have seen this picture before. Is that a gun? Is he like shooting? Wait, hold on. I just want to make sure. I haven't really looked at this image very closely before. Yeah, is that a crosshairs? Is that like a target? Okay. Okay, but anyways, you straight shooter. Okay? In a positive way. Alright, you are on target. You are right. You are correct in your actions. You speak the truth. While they're over here building up this fantasy, right? And these came out. They're building up fantasies and lies and rumors, and you're a straight shooter setting the record straight. This pregnancy test was face up in the deck when I was, so again, when we have expecting, so someone is probably in the mix here, is expecting. I mean, it could be you, but I feel like also too that this is somebody else with this lusty energy here, and it could be part of the drama, right? Keeping you a secret. It's about wanting to keep you a secret. Someone could also be having a child with someone else, but they also want you. They also want you to be on the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's interesting. I never noticed that before. Interesting. She has something on her, written on her face. Some kind of heart thing. Keeping you a secret. Interesting. Okay. So some of these pictures are popping out more than usual today. So, insecure. They want you insecure, but they're really the ones that are insecure. So we know all this. But we're moving forward. You don't have to worry too much about anything really coming to head. You got a lot of drama here, but you're kind of separate from them. They have a lot of fantasies in their head. They have a lot of, like, they're kind of delusional in a bad way, right? And here you are moving forward and really not taking any mess, okay? So you need to really understand how powerful you are, okay? You need to know really the kind of power that you hold, and really to have you move forward. You got this shit. See? Alright, I'm about ready to read this. This says mistakes. This side. This says mistakes, proof I'm bold enough to try and slay. So if you've made any mistakes in the past, you've grown past that and you've learned and you were bold enough to put yourself out there. But you got this. Feeling a bit meh. Is self-doubt creeping in? Got a big meeting. Bad bitches don't have time for self-doubt. Okay, so you don't have time for this self-doubt. You don't have time for this drama that's in the background, trying to create this self-doubt, okay? You know? You got this. You have made mistakes in the past, but that's just help you grow, and it's made you into even more of a badass person, right? I'm a fucking diamond, tough as hell and unbreakable. So yeah, you're tough, you're unbreakable. Yeah, I mean, people tried and they couldn't. All the pressure that they put on you, like the diamond, just made you tougher and tougher. And now you're unbreakable. This thing that was designed to break you and hurt you, it can't. I don't need anyone's validation. That's right, you don't need anyone's validation. I'm fucking enough. That's right. Whether the number one... what's the number one rule of being a badass? Stay true to yourself and walk your own path. Right? So if you're feeling the pressure to conform, stop. Grab a card and remind yourself to unapologetically be you 100%. Yeah, be you 100%. You don't need the validation of these people, especially these people who can't tell the truth to save their lives, okay? God, I am grateful for this wild, crazy, fucking awesome life, okay? So, you're grateful for it, okay? My no is non-negotiable. Deal with it. Yeah, you said no and you meant no, and you still mean no, and you're going to have to deal with it, and that's just how it's going to be. Because you are on the path forward. You don't have time for all this BS. And I just looked over here in this deck. I just looked over here on this deck, and it had fake friends over here on this other deck that I was reading with earlier. And it was upright, and I just noticed that. So that could be playing in the background. Obviously, some of these issues is going to be a fake friend, obviously, because that's where the rumors come in, right? Someone getting close enough to really, like, try to backstab you. And we ain't got time for that, because we're moving forward. We're living life, okay? We don't have time. We don't have time for this BS. You don't have time for that BS. You don't want to play mind games. They can play mind games with themselves. Every time they do it, they just make you tougher and tougher because you transcend it. You rise, right? Meditation. Again, with this getting crystal clear and calming the mind down, okay? Again, when I was saying there was like a little bit of like confusion or a little bit of like needing to really... That's a meditation coming in. Also, guidance fell out with it. Meditation and guidance. Okay. Meditating for guidance. Guidance is there for you. So when you meditate, focus on your third eye. Right here. So you can see in this third eye area. So right there. Crown and third eye, you're going to be focusing here, and you're going to be seeing a lot of wonderful things, a lot of guidance. However you receive this guidance for you, but you will be receiving it, but you do need to calm your mind down a little more than usual because it's needed right now because of like this chaos in the background kind of seeping in. It is seeping in. It's not taking hold, but it's there. You need to rest. Rest. Here's the pearl. Rest and meditation is what's needed. And action. Ah! You got rest and action. Yes, it's possible to do both. It is. You can rest and you can take action. You can take action and then you can rest. But both are needed. You need to find a balance of the two. You are taking action again with this this Knight of Wands and with this Eight of Pentacles. So you're putting in the work, you're putting in the time, and you're moving forward. This is dedication. Rest and action, though, okay? Very important that you really find that the equilibrium of the two. Okay? Research. Oh, what'd I say? Research. With this Eight of Pentacles, with really being delving deep into your research, into what you're looking into, and what you're learning. Okay? It's really important. Oh, and these two dragons. Like the same dragon here. Taking action by researching. So you're going to be taking action on stuff, but I feel like a lot of like your work right now is going to be research related as well. You're learning a new skill. I feel like, yeah, definitely learning something. You really have to learn it. So you have to, and it's something that's going to be like you need to read the instruction, like you need to like know, or like either read or videos, instructional classes, and then do. Listen, instruction, do. But you're very immersed in this. And it's leading towards forward action, which is going to be very fruitful for you. Again, there's no more stagnation, right? There's no time for that. You're moving forward. Seek knowledge. Seek knowledge, right? Obviously, that's what we're talking about. That's what you're doing. You're seeking knowledge and this flow, which is what I'm getting with this rest. There's something about rest and flow and finding the ebb and flow between rest and action. Right? This is very important. You definitely are moving forward. So whatever background noise there is, and that's what it is, if it does seep in and you are affected by it a little bit, just get through meditation, clear your mind, remember how badass you are, and realize that you're protected. You really are. You have some really great protection, and with this clearing the mind, it's really going to help you to learn the art of focus and what you're focused on. Don't focus on this drama in the background that's trying to get your attention. Focus on what you need to be learning to grow and to move forward. That is your goal. That is what you need to do at this time. That is within your best benefit and really the benefit of everyone, because whatever you're working on is really going to be beneficial for others as well. Okay? So that is the message. Really, be yourself. Move forward with intention and learn the art of focus and when to let go and when to take action.